Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So today on my channel I'll be doing a full review of the 2022 MSI Pulse GL66. This is one of the most cheapest RTX 3070 laptop that you are going to get. The same thing with the last year model, and then this particular model for 2022 look exactly the same. In fact, they have the same footprint. Looking at it side by side, you might not even differentiate between this one and the 2021 model because they just look the same. So aside the 12th generation processor and then some changes that MSI did with the graphic card, so which is what you might not notice by just looking at the laptop, except when you open it or look through the documentation. So, and for the 2022 it comes in a different configuration as well. There's a Core i5 model, and there's RTX 3050, RTX 3050 Ti, and RTX 3060, and RTX 3070. There's also a Core i9 version, but unfortunately the Core i9 version only comes with RTX 3060, so there's no any RTX 3070 with Core i9 or RTX 3070 Ti at all, so which is one thing you should take note. So this Pulse GL66 do not have the 3070 Ti that you see on other 12th generation laptop. Now for the specs of the one I have here, it comes with a 15.6-inch full HD display with 144Hz refresh rate. It has the 12th generation Intel Core i7-12700H 14-core processor with a 16 gigs of RAM and a 5 TB SSD, and then the RTX 3070 is not the RTX 3070 Ti. So, and basically, like I said, every other thing look the same. The keyboard is the same thing with the last year model. It's a single zone RGB keyboard light with the number keys, and it also has a good number of ports. From the left to right you have the charging port, and then you have the 2 USB-A port, and then at the front you have nothing, and at the right you have the charging LED indicator, and you have the 3.5mm audio jack, and you have another USB-A port, and you have a USB Type-C port, and the full HDMI port, and you have the Ethernet port. So now this laptop is very good, except for the touchpad or the trackpad. The trackpad is very sometimes it's not flowing like other laptops I've used. Sometimes you find yourself to drag with the trackpad for it to work very well. I don't know if this particular problem is only to my unit. I don't know if other people is going to have this kind of problem. Now the another thing is that the RAM on this laptop is the DDR4, not the DDR5 RAM that you have on other laptop, 12th generation laptop. So I think that is where MSI cut down cost in order to make the laptop cheaper. So, and then for the inside is totally upgradable, and then to test if it is actually DDR4 I have to use my 64 gigs of RAM to upgrade it, that is DDR4 RAM, and then it work flawlessly. But I would advise, if you want to upgrade to 64 gigs of RAM, I will advise and recommend you put it one at a time. After putting the first one, you power it on before you put the second one, because I tried putting both of them at the same time and I run into issues. So I don't know if it will just maybe some kind of but that is what I faced when I tried to upgrade it. So aside that, it has 2 NVMe slots. The 2 RAMs can be upgraded, and also the Wi-Fi card can be upgraded. Now about the performance of this laptop. The performance of this laptop is quite good, at least when you compare it to the last year model. Aside running the 12th generation processor, MSI did a little tweak to boost the performance over the last year model. especially on the 3070 model which I've reviewed. For example, the last year model 3070 came with a 180 watt power adapter, which is very not good for a 3070 laptop. So but on this 2022 model, they now give you a 240 power adapter, which is very good. And then aside that, they also did a little improvement on the graphic card. Like the last year model has a 1365 megahertz of GPU boost clock, but on this one they now increase it to 1390 megahertz. I know it's very small, but at least it's a slight improvement over the last year model. Also, the GPU watt on this laptop was also increased. The last year model has 85 watt GPU power, but this year they increased the GPU power to 105 watt, which is another slight improvement over the last year model. Now, for testing, I do test with the Forza Horizon 5. When I plugged it to power, I run a benchmark with Forza Horizon 5 on benchmark mode. So I was getting at ultra settings. The benchmark was showing 72 frame rate per second. So although when I was playing the game, I do set the frame rate to 144 Hz frame per second. So and I was getting between 119 to 135 frame per second. So which is very good. That is on ultra settings. So but when you bring the settings down to high settings, these are automatics, so I did not adjust, I only adjust it automatically. I did not mess up with the other settings. So when I bring it down to high settings, so I was getting around 130 to 144 frame per second, so which is very good. So if you are someone who is a diehard of a frame rate instead of the overall gameplay, so you can reduce your settings so that you can get a higher frame rate. But if you are someone who is totally fine with the overall gameplay and you are not too much interested in the high frame rate, so I think it's better to play at the ultra settings and then at the lower frame rate. Now, but on battery, when you are using battery to play at ultra settings, you are getting between 30 to 40 frames per second. That is on battery at ultra settings on Forza Horizon 5. But when you tune down the setting to high, you'll be getting from 50 to 60 frames per second on battery. So that is the performance of the laptop. Then I also did a same benchmark test. So where it's plugged on power, the performance is not that bad, it's quite good. But I do know that you really don't need all those benchmark, because the real software or application that you are going to use is not going to stress your CPU to the extent at which benchmark software stresses the CPU. So overall, I think it's a very good laptop, and it's kind of a slight worthy upgrade if you are not looking for that 3070 Ti laptop and you just want to have a taste of the Intel 12th generation processor. This laptop is for you. But if you want that 3070 Ti with a 12th generation processor, I think you have to look for other brand. So that's it, guys. That's it about my review of the MSI GL66 for 2022. Thank you for watching my video, and please do subscribe to my channel for more video. Bye.